Welcome, Mitzi.
Commodore Tawake, the CEO of FRU and of course CEO of Counter Ruck. Gives us great pleasure actually. This has been a number of weeks at work now. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not something that we just came by and decided one day to do so. We had a lot of negotiations, hard negotiations in this respect. And I'd also like to thank the PS for Economy and Head of Treasury, Nemia Dawai, and PS Shiriganda in respect of how we've been able to reach this conclusion. As you know, that is highlighted by Brian, it did need capitalization, and it needed a substantial amount of money in terms of capitalization. And from the Fijian government perspective, as highlighted in Parliament some weeks back when we presented the revised budget, we could not give a grant because the way it's set up is that it's a private company, it's got issued shares, it's not the statutory body. And so the government actually did want to assist. We see, and as the Commodore has said, we see enormous potential, of course, in sports to be able to not only provide a form of entertainment and unifying our people, but in terms of the economic benefits are quite substantial. Both for those rugby players individually in their own right in terms of gaining access to income and sustained livelihoods, but also overall for the economy, the Fijian economy. And as government's objective has always been that we need to be able to capitalize on the natural talent we have, whether it's in the agriculture sector, whether it's in terms of our human resource capital in the BPO processing sector, or whether it's in sports. And obviously, as highlighted, we won the Olympics back-to-back. There's a particular brand that's associated with Fiji, a particular brand with Fijian rugby that we are associated with, which deems excellence, fortitude, ability to get out of tough situations and compete with those who may have far more resources and yet come out on the top. And we believe, some people have said to me in the past few weeks, well, the men's aren't doing that well. I said, well, you just give them another season. Because they are now competing with people who actually have had years of such exposure and such high level of high performance rugby. And we just need another year. I mean, of course, the women's team are doing fantastically well. So that's where government has participated. And as we've done in other parts of the economy, we believe that we can provide a facilitating role, a hand-holding role, if you like, in the initial phase. And then once we have Counter Ruck actually doing well, the government can actually step aside and provide other people to participate in this. Our, of course, comfort is from the fact that it has an independent board. We have people not just from FRU who will be on the board, but you'll have people from Australia and New Zealand on the board too, the independent board members. There's also the relationship with the New Zealand Rugby Union in the event of solvency issues. There's various backstops regarding that. And so that gave us a huge level of confidence. We have an independent assessment that was carried out. And we're quite happy to make that investment of $6 million. As highlighted, we'll be paying the $3 million today, as provided for in the revised budget, another $3 million by December. That will give the Fijian government a shareholding of 51% in the company. And of course, at the same time, government has provided a number of incentives. So anybody that now sponsors the Fijian Drua will get a 200% tax deduction if their sponsorship is $250,000 or more. The company itself, Counter Ruck, will get a 13-year tax-free holiday in respect of any profits generated, etc. They'll also have access to duty-free, access in terms of waiver of duty on imported items, specifically for enhancing the game for the team itself. So there's a number of, we've taken a holistic approach to ensuring that Drua is highly successful. And the fact that we have on Saturday a game with the Highlanders here in Suva, it will, of course, is generating a lot of activity. I had the pleasure of being on the same flight as the Highlanders on Monday from Sydney, and obviously they filled up the seats. Their supporters will come and fill up the seats. When other teams come in, they'll also fill up the seats. They'll occupy hotel rooms. So these are the sort of, what we call the ancillary benefits of supporting the Drua and having, of course, Fiji as their base. In the next couple of years, they'll, of course, be playing a lot more games in Fiji, too. So I would like to congratulate also Brian also for his fortitude and his energy and tenacity, I would say, in sort of pushing this forward in the past couple of years or so. The Kiwis cannot necessarily be the easiest people to deal with at times. But we'd also like to thank them and give them the assurance that, of course, the Fijian government will work together with the FRU and Counter Ruck in ensuring that the parameters of engagement, the way that the board will function, it's an independent board, the way it will function, that all, of course, will be adhering to all those rules and the processes that have been put in place. And also congratulations to FRU. We're getting a lot of positive responses from ordinary Fijians saying that this is a great initiative, and they also see the benefit in this respect. So congratulations to everybody, and thank you very much for this, and we look forward to a fantastic game on Saturday. Thank you.
Today's events with the signing of the Deed of Understanding between the Fiji government and Counter Ruck Piri Limited marks another historic milestone for Fiji rugby, but more importantly for the sway-shipping Fijian Drua. The financial commitment of $6 million by the Fijian government, which is 50% of the equity into the Fijian Drua, with the first tranche of $3 million signed today, signifies government's vision in using sports such as rugby as a lever of change to unite Fijian families and communities and bring smiling faces across our communities during rugby matches. In addition, noting the potential opportunities that Fijian Drua will create for sports tourism and other sectors. Fiji's recent successes in the Rugby Sevens Olympic in Rio in 2016 and Tokyo in 2021, and the Roosters Fijiana last week are benchmarks that a sport such as rugby can be a platform to unite families, communities, and bring smiling faces, even despite the struggles and the challenges we face. I'm optimistic that the Fijian Drua success as a franchise and for Saturday's game and future games. The Fijian government's financial commitment today further strengthens the Fijian Drua in accessing the necessary high-performance requirements in order to succeed as a team. I thank the Fijian government and the leadership of the Honourable Prime Minister and the support of the Honourable Attorney-General and Minister of Economy towards government for the partnership in the Fijian Drua today. Sir, Vinakasakapakaleo.
So now I'll make a few remarks, which is essentially to say a huge vinaka to the Fijian government and to the Minister of Economy for your support. This is a watershed moment for the Fijian Drua and our company, Counter Ruck Proprietary Limited, a very necessary and important capitalisation of the company to comply with the licence conditions imposed on us by New Zealand Rugby. But without this, the Drua could not be in place, so we very much thank you, and we'd like to present you with a jersey as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you. Oh, we can hold it up.
I'm going to do a branding for
All of us.